All right, I'm going to show you how to animate this walk cycle using both Photoshop and Adobe Animate. And I'm going to show you some of the interesting features you can use in Adobe Animate. So this was a walk cycle created by one of my students, and I'm going to download it. And then I'm going to open it in Photoshop. So let me go to Photoshop. And let me just get rid of this file because I have to start all over to demonstrate it. I'm going to do File, Open, and I'm going to then show you what to do next. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this background layer. This is the layer that has the template in it, so I don't need it. So let me just delete it. And now I'm going to crop the, first I'm going to crop the document just so I get rid of any of the dead space. Let me start that out right now. So let me just do, I'm going to use the rectangular marquee tool. I'm going to draw a box around it, and I'm going to do image crop. I'm actually going to do more cropping later. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is, let me just set this up so that it's in the default mode. Right now, I can turn this into an animation right now. It's not going to be a very good animation, but I can turn it into an animation right now. So let me just show you how that would be done. So I'm going to go to Window, and I'm going to click Timeline. And then it's going to say Create Video Timeline. You do not want that. You want Create Frame Animation. So you hit this drop-down arrow, and you click Create Frame Animation. Now, I'm going to go to the middle of the word Create Frame Animation and click on it, and there's a frame. I'm now going to go here, and I'm going to click Make Frames from Layers. And you're going to see a very primitive looking animation. Okay, so the person's going by very fast. So if I want to make it go a little slower, I can click on the first frame, hold the Shift key, click on the last frame, and that selects all the frames in the animation. And I'm going to change it to 0.2 seconds. So it's slowed down a little bit. And it still looks kind of rough. It looks like there's a lot of space in between the figures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the first frame in that animation, and I'm going to now delete the entire animation, but I'm going to take each layer and I'm going to put them on top of each other. So they're not in a row, they're overlapping. So it's going to make an animation that looks like a girl walking in place. So first of all, let me zoom in a little bit. And now I'm going to first delete my animation because I'm going to make a better one soon. So now on the bottom layer, I'm going to grab her and put her in the middle, or roughly in the middle. I'm going to then go to the next layer, unhide that, and put her in the middle. And I'm going to, the best way to do it that I know is to line up her head, because the heads are all pretty much identical. So I'm going to line up the heads so that they're all on top of each other. Okay, so now they're all on top of each other, and when I make the animation, it's going to look like the girl's walking in place. So before I make the animation, let me just crop off all the extra. So I'm going to use my rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to draw a box around the girl to get rid of all the extra space. And then I'm going to go up here, Image, Crop. Okay. Now, at this point, I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do Make Frames from Layers. And now in each frame, it's just the girl, no extra space. And hopefully my animation will look like it's walking in place. I'm going to hold the Shift key and click on the last frame. I already have the first frame selected. So then all the frames are selected, and I can change the interval to 0.2. and I should get a nice smooth animation of a girl walking in place. And there we go. It looks great. Okay. Now, there's a couple of fun things you can do with this. But before I do anything with this, I'm going to save it. So I'm going to do File, Save As, save on your computer. And the name of the student is Jayna. So I will save it as Jayna, walk, cycle, stack. Okay. In this case, I already did this once before while I was practicing before I started the video, so I'm going to replace that other file. So now I have Jayna walk cycle stack. It's a Photoshop document with all these layers in it. Now, just for fun, I can export this as a video, and it'll look nice, but it'll be like half a second long. It's going to be very, very short because there's just not that many frames. So instead, I'm going to export it as a GIF. So this is how you would do that. This is just for fun. We actually do need to use this layered document for anything we do further with this. So the GIF is just a fun thing to do right now. So you do File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. Okay. Now, there's a lot of different choices here. Make sure that you've picked GIF. Okay. If you don't pick GIF, if you pick something else, like JPEG or PNG or something, you're just going to get an image and not a moving animation. And then just to make sure, you want to preview it. So I don't know what this is all about. There we go. So I'm previewing it, and there the girl is walking, and it looks great, and that's a GIF. You can put that on social media. You can email it to somebody. You can add it to a website. So it's a nice skill to know how to create a GIF. But anyway, so then you hit save and make sure that you pick HTML and images. Because if it's just HTML, if you pick just HTML, you're just going to get some strings of code. And if you just pick images, you're going to pick just still images. HTML and images means that you have the images and you have the code that tells the images what to do. So it's going to be on my desktop, HTML and images. I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to replace the previous one. Okay, so theoretically, if I go now to my desktop and there we go. And you open it, there you have this wonderful animation of the girl walking. And it's a GIF, and it's a lot of fun. You can, and it's also very useful if you're creating a website to be able to make GIFs.